Okay, so I want to take a minute and talk about self-limiting beliefs. So self-limiting beliefs are those thoughts of I'm not good enough, I won't be able to do it. Um, yeah, just those things that limit us from reaching our full potential. Those things that limit us from embracing who we truly are. Like no one's going to like you, you're kind of weird, why do you do that, right? Those are all those self-limiting beliefs. So the first step that I did with a self-limiting belief, and I looked at several, but one of them that I looked at is I'm not good enough. Um, no one will like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not, kind of add to the list, right? And so with that one, I kind of looked at where's that coming from? And I think it stems from my childhood. It stems from um, my mom. And I would always get praise, but I would get praise and then like a negative at the same time. So it would be like, oh, you're really like when I started embracing my mediumship and talking to spirits on the other side, it was like, oh my God, it's really cool. I'm really glad you can do that. But I mean, you could never do that for a living. Yeah, I'm really glad you could do that, but you could never really do that for other people because people are gonna like, it's weird. Don't do that. So those were the things that, yeah, you're really good. And then it like would stop me, but you still can't do it. You still can't reach and do what you're meant to do, or you still can't touch into what your authentic self is because you're not good enough. People think you're weird. People, all this stuff. So I kind of, as I dove into that, I kind of started, well, who are these people? do Why do I care? As I dove into that, right? So I dove into what's that limiting belief? Why do I think that way? And then is it a real belief or is it kind of a faulty? Like, is it a realization or is it not correct? And so as I dive through it, I'm like, it's not correct because yeah, some people aren't going to like me, but others are. Um, and others might get me because I am different, but I have to embrace my different. And you're going to love my different or not love my different. And I realized that the reason why I was fighting so hard um, to impress the people, it was the two people in my life that were supposed to be impressed with me no matter what. It was those people that are supposed to support us, whether we agree or not. Um, it's giving that level of support. It's giving that level of, you know what, I don't necessarily have the same thought process, but I'd love to see what you do with it, or I'd love to see you rock it. I know you. I have faith in you, um, and that's all that matters sometimes. So I was able to kind of look at that and then step through that faulty belief. So when it comes up again of, this limiting belief of you're not good enough, which I get every time I try to go live, where I stop myself and go, but I am. That was a faulty belief. That's not a true statement anymore. And I'm no longer living in that. And then I step out of that and I move through. Sometimes easier than others, but it's about moving through. And the more I think we move through, the more we keep consistent with it, the more we start to see the change, the more we start to buy into this new reality, because that's what we're doing, is we're changing these old faulty beliefs, this old reality into a new. So it takes a while to go into the new. It takes a while to embrace the new. Another kind of self-limiting behavior, and I said it yesterday with my friend, which was I have brain damage. I had a stroke, or I don't know what it is, but they found a spot on my brain, which in a sense is brain damage. Now I wanted to fight it for a long time and be like, I don't have it, but I do. So as I dove into what's this thought of this brain damage that's going to stop me from doing certain things, because I realized like, I would forget things a lot. I would like simple words sometimes. Some days I don't know how to speak very well. Um, and so that would kind of limit me. And why does it limit me? I have brain damage. So then I would go back, is this a real statement or a false statement? And it's a real statement. I have a spot on my brain. And so it is what it is, but it doesn't have to limit me. Just because I have a spot, just because I have to do things a little differently now, just because I have to adjust that if my brain forgets a word, or I go to do something and my brain totally wipes out what I was supposed to do, instead of like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I can't believe it's now that pause of, okay, I know, brain, it takes you a little while. It's okay, brain. I show myself some grace, and I show myself some grace to go, it's okay. Let's take a pause. Let's take a deep breath, and let's see if we can go back in there and see what we forgot. If not, then what's the next thing we have to do? And then we'll come back to it if it comes back. I think it's the same like with ADHD a little bit, because I don't know if I have ADHD, if it's trauma. I don't know what it is. But it's being able to kind of stop myself, and instead of having those limited, see, you're so stupid, you can't continue through, you lose focus, and instead of like jumping down that rabbit hole, it's stopping and going, okay, let's stop that self-limiting belief, and let's figure out how we can adjust to make it a reality. How can we adjust to change things? Yeah, I'm not going to be as good as I used to be, but that's okay. What can I do, or how can I make adjustments? So yeah, just my thought. Wanted to share, sending love. And if you guys want to let me know, like, what's your self-limiting belief, and what are some things you did to kind of not go through it, or what is some things you did to switch it? And if you need some help, like, I don't know, what should we do? Let me know. Maybe some people can add, and maybe my brain will think of some things too that we can switch your self-limiting. Because how can we switch it? So let me know how you switched it, or what you've struggled with being able to switch. All right. Sending love.